Okay, so today I'm talking about fair credit cards that you actually want. I was a little untruthful in my title when I said 20 credit cards for fair credit. Actually, I'll be talking about a little more than 20 credit cards. I've reviewed some of these credit cards, so if you want a full, complete review, check the description. You might find a link to a video that interests you. And if you have any of these cards, it's so important. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think about it because it helps the viewers decide on which credit cards they should apply for. If you think by the end that I've done a really good job, this is the ultimate guide to fair credit, I appreciate it so much if you could hit that like button. In this video for credit cards for fair credit, I talk about major credit cards, Visa and Mastercard, also different store cards. These cards, I will also, if I know of a way to help strengthen your chances of getting approved for any of these offers, I'll give you those tips in this video. And if you want even more information, you can visit CreditFast.com. There are some suggestions on different credit cards that you could apply for, pre-qualify for. And if you use some of the links on my site, it does help support my channel and at no cost to you. So I'm really excited. Let's get started and let's talk about the first credit card. And the first credit card is one that I love talking about because it was a great help to me when I needed to rebuild my credit. And it is it's Capital One, and they offer two different credit cards for fair credit. So they have the Capital One Platinum card and the Capital QuicksilverOne card. These are both credit cards that are going to help you build credit, and you only need a fair credit score to get them. Now, I said I'd give you some tips to help strengthen your chances, and you can actually go and pre-qualify for those offers to find out firsthand if you can have a good chance of getting approved. Whenever I talk about pre-qualification applications, they're pretty accurate. Sometimes people don't get them, but the majority of the time it's a good indication if you can get pre-qualified, you'll actually get that credit card. So with Capital One's Platinum card, that's the one I recommend more than the Capital One QuicksilverOne, because I do have the Capital, because I started out with the Capital One Platinum card and I was later able to product change it to the Capital One Quicksilver credit card, the 1.5% cashback card without an annual fee. But if you want to start earning rewards from day one, you can apply for the QuicksilverOne card. There is an annual fee for it. I recently did a video for the QuicksilverOne card, so if you want me to go over more in detail about it, check out that video. But the strongest recommendation I have when you have fair credit, really you need to get one of the Capital One fair credit cards, either the Capital One Platinum card or the Capital One Quicksilver card. If you already have the QuicksilverOne card, my tip to you is after the first year, call up Capital One. I'm sure they'll remove that annual fee. So the next credit card I'm talking about for fair credit, I'm really excited about because I have personal experience with this card, and that is the Target REDcard. I still had fair credit when I applied for the Target REDcard. I only had 3 other lines of credit at the time. I had one that had 1 year of credit history and the other 2 cards had 6 months. And the reason I'm very enthusiastic in recommending this card is that when I applied for it, they gave me a $3,000 line of credit. That's quite a lot. And of course, I don't use all of that credit line, but it does help with credit utilization. And it's just a store card most people are going to use. It's just a frequently used card for most families. Also, even though I don't have experience with this personally, if you're not a big Target shopper, consider getting a Walmart store card. It's now issued by Capital One, and it's still supposed to be fairly easy to get approved for. With the Walmart store card, when you apply for it, you either will get the Walmart store only card or the Walmart Mastercard. So you have a possibility, a chance of getting a major credit card with this application. But regardless, if you have fair credit, you should have no problem getting approved for a Walmart credit card. Okay, so the next credit card I will be talking about is an Amazon credit card. They have different store cards, and some of them are quite easy to get approved for. I started out with the Amazon Visa. Again, that was the card I got after the Target REDcard, and they were able to approve me for the Visa card. Now, with this particular credit offer, you're going to have to take a look at your score. If your score is a little bit lower on the fair credit range, you're probably would want to apply for their store only card, and that card is issued by Synchrony Bank. And whenever I talk about Synchrony Bank credit cards, they basically all have very easy credit approvals. Later in this video, I'm going to show some other Synchrony credit cards that I do recommend. But this is a very popular store card from Amazon. It's going to give you cash back on your purchases with no annual fee, and this really has shown to have easy credit approval. Now, it's not that hard also to get the actual Amazon Visa card. I did myself. I still had fair credit. So I would make a judgment call based on your situation, whether you should get the store only card or the Amazon Visa that is issued by Chase. And you're also going to want to be mindful of something called the Chase 524 rule, which I will talk about later in this video. But when you're applying for different credit cards, you're going to have to plan out certain things if you want to increase your chances of getting approved. So I will be talking about the Chase 524 rule later in this video. Okay, so a credit card I am highly recommending that I don't actually have myself is the Kohl's Charge Card. I recommend it because on their website they have a pre-qualification application. It's going to give you a very good idea of whether you can get this store card with the credit score you have now. And like I said, these pre-qualification applications are pretty accurate. So when you do fill out the actual application, you will get a hard credit inquiry, but most likely you'll also get the Kohl's Charge Card. The next credit card I'm talking about is one I've never talked about. I should have talked about it, and that is the Apple Card. And what the Apple Card is known for is pretty easy credit approval. They do extend credit to people with lower credit scores. So if you even have like a lower fair credit score, oftentimes they approve those people. And if you don't get approved for it, they do offer you, which I've never heard from another credit card, they offer you something they call Path to Apple Card. And that is a 4-month step-by-step program that if you can meet, it gives you another chance to meet their requirements, and hopefully in 4 months you can get approved for it. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is the shopping cart trick, the Comenity shopping cart trick. These are store cards issued by Comenity Bank. I did a video on it in June, doing a tutorial video on how you do the shopping cart trick. You do have to follow a few steps in order to get it to work. The really good thing is people that have had less than perfect credit, really kind of bad credit, can sometimes still get these store cards. And that means people with fair credit generally have no problem getting approved for Comenity store cards using the shopping cart trick. Not all Comenity Bank cards use the shopping cart trick. The one that really is known for easy approvals using the shopping cart trick is the Express card. In my video, I go through a walkthrough on how you want to do it in order to get approved for it. The benefit that so many people like about it is that you don't get a hard credit inquiry on your credit report if you do this correctly. And I've talked about Synchrony having many different cards that have easy approval, and that is also what Comenity Bank is known for, easy approval store cards. And later in this video, I'm going to show you both Synchrony Bank card offers and Comenity Bank card offers that you should consider to apply for, because they're good for people with fair credit. Again, if you have any of these credit cards for fair credit, please leave a comment. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. There are viewers watching this video today trying to decide on which of these credit card offers they should apply for. For the Comenity store cards, I want to do a quick shout out on two new ones that you might not quite be aware of, and they're good for people with fair credit. The first one, I've done a few mentions on it, is the Carter's store card, and Carter's is a store card for people with families, young children, and this is a great store card to not only help build your credit, but get clothes for your kids. So that one is new. It came out, it's a little more than 6 months old, and people that have applied for it had an easy approval from what I heard back. And the card that is even newer than Carter's that just came out is the Sally's Beauty card. It is a credit card, that store-only card that you can use at Sally's Beauty, and you're going to get rewards. So the next credit card I'm going to be talking about is the PayPal Mastercard. Recently I did a review on it, reviewing it, and I also compare it to the Citi Double Cash. A lot of you guys have your eyes set on the Citi Double Cash. What you may not know is that it tends to be a little bit harder to get. It's more for good credit, but the PayPal Mastercard has an easier approval because it's issued by Synchrony, and a lot of people that have fair credit can get approved for this card. I do, in my video that I did, I compare the two offers. You get an idea of whether you should apply for the PayPal Mastercard or wait later and get the Citi Double Cash. There is a unique way you need to apply for this card, so if this is something that's on your radar, you should check it out. It is a really good option because you're earning 2% cash back on all your purchases. So this is a card you want to get, and it's a card that you're going to keep for years and years because it's going to help you earn 2% cash back on everything you buy. The next credit cards I'm going to be talking about for easy credit approval when you have fair credit is the PenFed credit cards. Now, the easiest way to get approved for this is if you are an active member of the military or a retired member of the military. You'll have a fairly easy entry point in applying for this card. But if you are a family member, or if you have absolutely no history with military service, you still can get approved for this card. You just have to approach it in a different way. There are plenty of articles. If you Google it, they'll tell you exactly the steps you need to take. But PenFed has been known to have credit card offers that offer easy credit approval, and this is really good way of getting a major credit card when you have fair credit. So as I promised, this is the part of the video where I'm recommending different store cards from both Synchrony Bank and Comenity Bank. I'd appreciate it so much if you appreciate all the work I did today in putting this video together and giving you options for fair credit. If you think I did a good job, hit that like button. If you want to see more of my videos, hit the subscribe button and bell notification. You'll be notified when I release new videos, and share this video with someone if you know it could help them. Okay, so first I'm going to be talking about Comenity Bank. So here are different Comenity store cards you should consider. The Carter store card, Ann Taylor, Bed Bath & Beyond, Wayfair, Eddie Bauer, Williams-Sonoma, Ulta Beauty, Zales, Sephora, IKEA, and Sally's Beauty Supply. Okay, so this is the part of the video where I'm going to make my personal recommendations of different store cards you can apply for from Synchrony Bank, the TJX store card, and you can see the stores associated with it, the Gap store card, which would include Gap, Old Navy, and Banana Republic, and the Lowe's store card. I mentioned Gap. I just did a review video on the Gap credit cards. Basically, if you have one of the Gap store cards, they work at all the different Gap stores. If you want to see that video, check it out. And just coincidentally, I am wearing a shirt from the Gap. It wasn't planned, but I am, so I'm going to mention it. And I think this is a great way of supporting different brands during this difficult time in 2020. These stores are having a hard time. So this not only helps you build up your credit score, but you are helping businesses during this difficult time. So I think it's a mutually beneficial situation. And basically all these store cards are going to help you earn rewards on your purchases. So you're going to get more back than just if you used cash or a different credit card. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on helping you get approved for these store cards. 2 tips. But before I do that, I do have 2 honorable mentions for Fair Credit. The first one is the Blaze MasterCard. I have done a video on it. I do recommend it. It does not have any rewards with it, and there is an annual fee, but people do get approved for it. This is designed for people specifically for Fair Credit. That's why I'm recommending it, and it has helped people. And the other card, or it's technically cards, is the Pedal 1 Visa and the Pedal 2 Visa. They're 2 different versions. I actually did a review on the Pedal 2 Visa, but these cards can help you with Fair Credit. You earn rewards, cash back, and there is a pre-qualification application, and that can help you see if you can get approved for it. So I wanted to mention those cards. So now getting to some tips to help you increase your chances and not waste your time when you're applying for credit cards. The first tip, but it's a tip, is I mentioned the Chase 524 rule. It's a very important rule to understand. With Chase, they will deny you for most of their credit cards if you applied and got approved for more than 5 different credit cards within a span of 24 months. So if you followed all my advice and you got 8 credit cards, don't think your 9th credit card, even though you have a good credit score now. Be careful and wary of applying for Chase. And if you have your heart set on applying for a Chase card, make sure you do that before you reach 5 credit cards. So I wanted to make that known to you if you didn't know. And the other thing is, even if you get denied for any of the credit cards I talked about today, you still have a chance. Oftentimes, and this is the easiest way, in the letter you receive saying that you did not get approved, many times there's a phone number you can call. You can call a customer service, and sometimes you can get that decision overturned when you talk to a real live person. That all depends on the credit card company, because it depends on how much ability they allow their employees. And sometimes people have been known to call and plead their case and actually get that denial overturned. So even if you get denied for one of these cards, try calling and seeing if there's anything that can be done about it. All right, so I showed you more than 20 credit cards for Fair Credit. I know I did my job. Please hit that like button. And if you want to see more, subscribe. If you want to see other videos to help you build up your credit score, check out those over there. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.